hit that start streaming, that will mean that the stream will be starting. I did forget to mute the mics, so this whole explanation will be on the stream.
But not our cheeseburger discussion.
But not our cheeseburger discussion. Thank gosh. Our breakfast fast food
I thought
option
that was quality,
discussion.
but whatever.
It's on a line where I'm not super comfortable with it being out there in the ether.
I know, that's why I kind of keep bringing it up.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, no, I get it. I am pretty much expecting sabotage from you and Danny at any point, like trying to catch me in something that will be like live streamed, right? So it's like, all right, I got to be on my game all the time. Just all the time.
All the time.
All the time. So one of the things that I actually am on all the time is True Believers! Guess what? It's Thursday night, actually, some might say, which means it's time for Wait. Did I roll a wild? Your Marvel Crisis Protocol vlog. I am muting Dan right now before he ruins this intro. And
I was just going to whisper, True Believers.
Listen, I guess I don't know what other vlogs you're listening to out there in the ether. Maybe you're listening to the other one that I'm thinking of. You know the one. But maybe you're not. Maybe you're right here, right now. Maybe Critical Role's on, and you're like, oh, gosh, it's Wait, did I roll a wild time? I'm going to flip over from Critical Role to your Marvel Crisis Protocol selection of excellence.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I am joined by Dan this week. If you were unaware, my name's Tim, and I'll be your host tonight. And Dan is sitting in that chair. I'm sitting in this chair. You know, all that good stuff. But
hey,
as far as things go tonight, we're going to be talking about all the models that I definitely assembled. Dan is going to talk about maybe some stuff that he did as well. Maybe some OG Human Torch. Maybe some other things that you saw on stream. Maybe some things that you'll see on stream soon. But we're going to talk about our games played, our hobby thoughts. We had a really awesome stream this past Monday with a bunch of special guests, 4 special guests even. It'll make sense when I get to this shtick. But we're also going to talk about where we're going to be splashing Red Skull, Master of Hydra. I'm going to tell you right now, guess what? Dan and I were both already wrong on 2 different situations with it. It'll be fun.
Well, we realized we were wrong before the show, so it totally doesn't count.
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes before, like at most probably. But listen, that's why we're professional casuals. We figured it out. It was just at the last minute. We're also going to be talking about that separation anxiety modification that we made this past Monday, where we had those special guests. What fun it was!
It was wild.
There was a lot going on. There was, I mean, from flour-based tortilla slaps to Raven's Guard literally saving every plan I had made because Dan just targeted my shtick so hard and wanted to punch it into the ground. Speaking of, shout out Raven's Guard. And a bit more. You know for a fact that when Dan and I are here, there are going to be some wild tangents. And I guess I wouldn't expect any less. So if that's a thing that you like, stay tuned. If it's not a thing you like, then I would suggest checking out Elite 8 Showdown.
Where if you don't like wild
where
tangents?
There are no tangents whatsoever.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Nope. It is always on topic. It is always on point.
That's what it's known for.
It is. That's what everyone says.
That's what people like.
I've seen it written on bathroom walls. They're like, if you want a podcast that stays on the topic the entire time, check out Elite 8 Showdown. Once again, shout out to Pony Danza for leaving that 5-star review at the Buc-ee's in Cincinnati. But, Dan, let's get right into it. This week, what did you hobby play or game thoughts?
Oh, man, I hobby gamed a whole bunch.
What did you hobby game?
Well, a bunch of models came out.
Yeah.
And I built most of them.
Ooh.
And then I painted up Human Torch to be able to use on Monday.
Not only did I get the opportunity to be sitting next to you during a lot of the assembly for some of those models.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. We got him on a Friday. We were recording the Lost Omens podcast, and we were waiting because we were having technical issues. So I was like, I'm going to build these models right now.
I remember looking over, and I was like, oh, wow, Human Torch is together. And we waited a little bit more. We were doing some tech stuff, and I looked over again. I was like, oh, wow, there's Captain America, too. There's every time I looked over, there was another model assembled.
Yeah, I got Baron Strucker done, too. Human Torch is really the easiest model since, like, Colossus. Because he was 3 pieces, and one of those pieces is the fire on the base.
I wanna tell you something very specific. So me being so close to you, assembling those models, or at least describing how straightforward and easy they were to assemble, gave me the information I needed to convince my wife, Lindsay, to assemble all of my models outside of Arnim Zola. And she did. I was like, listen, Human Torch is like 3 pieces. Not even that. It's pretty much just 2. And she was like, oh, I could do that. And then because she opened that box and assembled Human Torch, then she was like, oh, I guess I'll do Captain America too.
Yeah, he's right there. He's also real easy.
And then she did the Howling Commandos, and she's like, what's this one with the mustache and the hat? And I was like, let me tell you.
Oh, man.
And then she did Baron Strucker too, who I am so over the moon excited to play the new Hydra.
Like, I can't wait.
So incredibly excited to play it.
We got a little bit of time before we get to like a normal game again, but I'm really pumped to do Hydra and Shield because I definitely want to play Shield since I got Human Torch done. I just need to. I haven't assembled Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos yet because I was gonna do like kind of sub assemblies, but not. I'm looking at it more. I don't think I need to.
Yeah.
But Arnim Zola is going to be one that might be a little challenging for people, especially newer hobbyists.
Yeah. So, and you've either from one of the groups or something kind of found out, not like necessarily a cheat, but certainly a helpful hint, right? As far as assembling him.
Yeah, so
which I passed on to Lindsay as well, which is why she did not do that. When she's like, I'll leave that for you. So what was that tip? Because I felt like it was incredibly useful.
Right, so Arnim Zola's got that face on his chest.
Yeah.
And they included a sweet piece that has a clear plastic to go over it, so it's not just like bare, like open. But the whole front half of his torso is clear. Which seems a little odd, but I'm assuming it's to cut down on how many different pieces there are. Or something, maybe sprue space was a factor there. So my plan is I have it built just with that piece not on, and then I'm gonna paint the face inside there, which is essentially just gonna be Wraithbone and then probably a layer of one of the contrasts and maybe a little bit of highlighting. Then I'm gonna glue the torso over it and spray the whole thing, but to make sure I don't prime the clear window, is you just put a little Elmer's glue to fill it in, a little more than you'd think you would need, because as Elmer's glue dries, it shrinks.
Yeah, it condenses.
So you want to put quite a bit in there, and then you spray it, and then you just peel that off, and you'll have a clear window.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
I thought that was so smart.
That was one I was like, how am I gonna do? I guess I'll hand prime that piece, and prime the rest of it, and then glue it together. And then somebody in one of the Facebook groups mentioned just using Elmer's glue, and I was like, oh, duh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
A lot of people swear by blue tack, just sticking some blue tacky stuff on there, and that'll just peel right off, or taping it with like masking tape, but then you need like a hobby knife to get in there and cut around it.
Yeah, I think the Elmer's glue one is really just kind of like, if you have it on hand, that's going to be so non-dramatic.
That'll be the easiest. Yeah.
Yep. Blue tack also I think is pretty easy, but not anywhere near as much as Elmer's glue. Plus, after you do that with the Elmer's glue, then you can coat your hand in it and rub it over, and then wait for it to dry, and then peel it off like dead skin, which is kind of the best, just kind of overall.
Yeah, I haven't quite gotten to that stage. My Arnim Zola is still in half, but he'll get there.
Yeah,
he'll get there.
So we did, and I guess. So on my end, everything's assembled now about Arnim Zola.
Nice.
I did none of it, but I delegated all of it.
Well done.
Which I feel like is close enough.
That's still a step.
Also, there's a whole bunch of cats in my garage, and I am honestly too scared to go in the garage to check out what the status of Black Swan is.
Right, because you got a bunch of feral cats in there or something, right?
Not feral, they're just my mother-in-law's cats, but so pretty much, yeah.
Feral cats that happen to be owned by somebody in your family.
Yes, yep.
That have moved in.
That just decided to show up. Yep. So that's there. I definitely, unfortunately, I know for a fact, just looking through the window, that an Honor Baller Boom Baller from Adeptus Mechanicus, one of their tanks.
I was going to say, let's see if anybody could actually figure out what you're trying to say there, because you can never remember the name of this.
It's not that I can't remember the name of it. It's just, it's like a Wendy's breakfast sandwich where I just won't be able to say it correctly. So I don't try anymore. And it's syllables really at this point.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Otis in the chat for the stream, who's putting together Malekith while watching the show.
Such a great model.
Right? So Ravensguard used Liquid Mask, which Dallas suggested during the paint stream, which is actually pretty stellar.
I don't know what Liquid Mask is.
So think of like a regular mask, right?
Oh, but liquid?
But it's a liquid one.
Oh.
Yeah. It's similar to probably one of the most heralded characters that people want in Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Jim Carrey's The Mask?
Close. Jim Carrey is a man, right?
Mm.
And what
His
do people
name Truman.
What do people like to drink? Hydro.
Milk.
That's right. Hydro. Hydro Man, the top of most people's list to be in the game.
Jim Carrey was Hydro Man at some point?
Nope. But Jim Carrey played a man in many different movies.
Oh, okay. Not related at all. Got
I've
it.
also seen him drink water before. So Hydro Man confirmed, I guess, at this point.
Okay.
But yeah, so not only that, but we also kind of have in short order something coming right down the pipe. Like right around the corner, we got a date confirmation today from AMG that the Sentinels will be released on October 14th.
Today? We got that like 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, I made a note to say today that we were going to be getting
there we go.
The Sentinels release date.
Sentinel. So we have 2 Sentinel boxes and Leviathan Red Skull.
They're all on October 14th?
Schmitty himself.
Schmitty.
That's what Anthony said, and he knows everything about shipping stuff because he owns a game store.
That's true. If you're curious what Anthony ships, you can actually go over to beardeddragongames.online and use that code PCME10 for 10% off of all of your Marvel Crisis Protocol orders. Oh, just kidding. Not all of them. You were going to pre-order the Sentinels? Guess what? They're on there. They're 15% off if you pre-order them, and you don't even need a code.
Yeah.
You can walk into work tomorrow after pre-ordering those Sentinels at beardeddragongames.online and be like, look at all these dummies. Look at all these dummies that probably go to stores and type in codes for discounts. I, however, went to beardeddragongames.online, didn't type in a code, just pre-ordered it and got 15% off.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you figured out how you're going to paint your Sentinels yet?
Did we talk about this last week?
We did.
Was I not?
You weren't super decided. You were
right,
talking about
was...
maybe doing one of the alternate color schemes from the X-Men arcade game.
Oh yeah, I was thinking Marvel vs. Capcom version where they're like blue and gray, or New Mutants, like number 2.
Yes.
One of those appearances of the real big Sentinels, of like blue and gray. Maybe I might just go classic, like purpley pink and blue. I don't know.
Blue.
I haven't decided.
So that was I was talking about the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 one because it's also purple and blue like the traditional Sentinel, but just different enough.
Yeah.
Where it seems different, and that I remember you now mentioning the that mall scene from from New Mutants, which I think is still really solid.
Part of me feels like there's just not quite enough contrast between the blue and the gray.
Yeah.
For a model, especially something that big, I like the boldness of like. Sentinels are like, we don't need camouflage. We're just gonna, you're gonna see us coming because we're giant, so we're just gonna smash you anyway. So we're purple.
So here's what I'm thinking.
Or pinkish, depending.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Uh-oh.
So, my Cassandra Nova, right?
Okay.
Is painted up to look like Dr. Robotnik. with a big red mustache. I'm thinking maybe to do all of the Sentinels in a similar color scheme with the same giant red mustache. Alternatively, I love the Arnim Zola color scheme, the orange and purple. I might go with that. I love Hydra. I feel like I'm going to be playing Arnim Zola a whole bunch and Baron Strucker. So maybe just being able to play Arnim Zola when I'm not playing Arnim Zola by having bigger orange and purple Arnim Zolas.
That sounds awesome.
Might be the way to go.
Those are my favorite one. I think they were like on the jungle level of the X-Men arcade game. Might be my favorite.
Yeah. Wendigo.
Welcome to die.
Remember the president says, don't do drugs. But
all arcade games did at that time.
It was so awesome. I actually really liked it. But yeah, I'm super into that. And once again, if someone can do this and send us pictures of it, I would adore, just be over the moon for someone to do Arnim Zola like Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and somehow put a little pink brain in behind that window. I'm a little surprised
we haven't seen that yet.
Same.
It's been out for almost a week.
He has been out for almost a week, which is why I'm like, I feel like there needs to be like a call to action almost. Like,
show me your Krang.
Show me your Krangs. And I don't care if it's Arnim Zola. I don't care if it's one of the Sentinels. I don't even care if you somehow do it with Crimson Dynamo. Listen.
Oh my God.
What?
Turning one of the Sentinel models into the giant Krang robot with Krang in the middle. Ooh. When he like grows, gets huge. Oh my God.
Or given those little wings during that boss fight from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game where all he can do is fly kick you back and forth. Like, who could have wings? Who has wings that could be put there? Winter Soldier? Not Winter Soldier.
What?
The other one. His buddy from the show.
Falcon?
Wait,
what?
That one. You can see his wings, but he needs metal wings, and we don't have Archangel yet. So we really need kind of like those big metal bat wings.
Seriously, all shtick aside, we really need an Angel or Archangel / Iceman box. We need to get the rest of those OG X-Men.
Yeah, we really need an Angel / Archangel box, like one of each.
I'd kind of be okay with that.
Yeah, right.
They're both so valid. Archangel's awesome.
Well, it's one of those things too. Actually, like very legitimately, like best case scenario, we do get Angel and Iceman to round out the rest of that team, and then there's like a release later on that's all Age of Apocalypse. We get Archangel.
Oh, don't tease me with Age of Apocalypse
right.
designs.
We get
Age of Apocalypse Iceman is best Iceman.
Age
in terms
of
of looks.
Iceman?
Yes.
So I remember Age of the Atom, where
he was a wizard. That was also awesome.
Old man wizard Iceman who just summons giant, massive, building-sized ice golems.
He's come back a couple times here and there, and it's great every time. There was a recent, on the Marvel Unlimited app, there was a little 4-issue in quotes, I guess.
Yeah.
Mini-series of Iceman like doing his own thing. He like took a little break from the X-Men for a hot minute, and some guy was trying to be a sorcerer, and then Loki showed up, and him and Loki like teamed up, and Loki did the whole Bugs Bunny like, here's some super juice to be awesome because he got hurt.
Yeah.
He's like, here's my crown that has all my power, and Iceman's like, I mean, okay. So he was like, he wore Loki's crown, and like it went all like wizardy, and it looked awesome, and just was just being super cool, and then gave him the crown back, and Loki was like, I don't have power in my crown, you idiot. I'm a god. I just told you that so you would believe in yourself. And Iceman was like, man. I mean, that's
got
cool.
Bill Murray'd. That's awesome. Like, also, Rusty Paints in chat, Age of Apocalypse Blink. If there's a spot where I got like super into Blink, it was the Exiles and Age of Apocalypse.
I mean, that's like all that she exists in.
Oh, that's
she's
also
in the X-Men
fair.
again now. She's like around a little bit, but she's not really the Clarice we know from that.
Yeah.
I would adore Blink in this game. Can we get a Blink and Morph box from Exiles, or Mink, Blink, and Exiles Mimic.
I literally shivered there.
I would love Mimic.
Mimic is also a huge one for me, and yeah, Exiles.
I just want all the
Morph.
Exiles.
Yeah.
They're awesome. At least the early run before Chris Claremont took over and ruined it. But like,
Whoa,
he did.
Whoa, he's my friend.
Okay,
He's a friend of my client.
he did so much amazing things for
Yeah.
so many amazing things for X-Men in general, but he was not as good after the 2000s. I think
like-
most of us can agree.
It's like Bendis, right? Bendis has done so many incredible things.
Oh my god, yeah.
Moon Knight fans hate his run on Moon Knight.
Really?
Like, hate it. Yeah.
I don't know which one that is. I haven't read enough Moon Knight.
It's like the one before the current.
Is that the one
It's
that
not even one before the current.
he takes the powers of all the other heroes, but
No, before that.
he goes almost
Because it was
like
before
past mastery.
Mr. Knight was around.
Okay.
But-
I don't know that one.
Gotcha. So all the stuff, at least I follow a lot of Moon Knight meme Facebook groups.
There's multiple?
There are. Listen, if you're in the know, you know how to get to that Moon Knight core. But yeah, they're really good, and they're always cutting edge too.
I love it.
You know how I love just edgy for edgy's sake.
Oh yeah. A few.
Moon Knight meme groups are like cutting edge satire and really smart political jokes wrapped up in just garbage, and I love that.
How cringe does it get though?
So surprisingly not very, but it might just be the ones that
Okay.
I haven't left yet. There are other ones that are just like pretty cringy.
I'm sure there's plenty that are just. I'm sure there are hundreds of terrible Moon Knight memes for every fantastic one.
Yeah. Well, and it's gotten the Deadpool treatment, right? Where like he's that kind of comedic, somewhat character right now, so people are really going full tilt with him.
Even though he's not, he's only comedic in those memes that really don't match the character at all. They're just awesome.
Correct.
Like, Dracula better have my money. Like, that never happened in the comics.
Well, Dracula was an Avenger. No, he wasn't. He told me so himself. But yeah, I love that type of anti-humor, and some of the stuff out there is real good. Real good.
Anti-humor, when it hits, it hits.
Yeah.
You know what else hits? This new Red Skull.
That's true. So
Want to haul us back onto the track
thanks,
here.
man. So talking about this new Red Skull, some might refer to him as the master of Hydra.
Or Schmitty.
Or Schmitty. Yeah.
He's gonna be Schmitty.
The old Schmidtmeister.
Or I'm probably gonna call him Leviathan Red Skull most of the time because he's got that cool Leviathan armor.
Yeah.
Leviathan Schmitty.
Leviathan Schmitty. The Leviathan Schmidt. All right, we're getting into dangerous territory here, so let's get into it. So Dan and I earlier today had a conversation where we were going to be talking about what affiliations we were going to be splashing Red Skull Master of Hydra into. Turns out we were both
Our
very
initial
wrong.
ideas were great ideas if the rules allowed it.
They were. So let's talk about those real quick. Dan, you can go first. Where were you going to initially splash Red Skull, and why was it apparently wrong?
All right, so I was like, oh man, he can summon the Hydra things for free after they're first dead because they start on the table.
Yeah.
Right? Hydra goons have 3 stamina, which is the highest for grunts, with 1, 2, 2 for defense. So obviously not good defense, but I mean, even rolling 3 successes sometimes just doesn't work.
Right.
So they're surprisingly survivable for grunts, and I was like, they can hold secures. They're the opposite of the other grunts we currently have.
Yep.
So what better place would they be in than Kingpin's Criminal Syndicate? Oh, wait, that specifically says non-grunt healthy characters count as 2 for holding secure objectives. So throw that idea out the window.
It does happen to say that.
Shucks. So that was my nuts moment.
Nuts. So mine was actually very similar.
Oh.
Mine was within Sam Wilson Avengers, where I was like, you know what? If there's one thing Schmitty wants, it's 10 power. to be able to use the tactics card to allow him to get an extra action to effectively give him haste.
Oh, right. It's so crazy.
Right? So I was like, well, if he's just putting out those Hydra troopers every round, he's going to be able to pull off occult research pretty quickly. However, Sam Wilson's affiliation also doesn't get triggered by grunts.
Yeah, when grunts get dazed or they only get KO'd. So,
Yep.
Shucks, it doesn't work for them either. But I came up with a better idea.
And similar to ordering at a restaurant, I'm going to let everyone else go first so I can figure it out by the time it comes to my turn.
Hey! So, looking at Red Skull, obviously my first thought was Captain America's Steve Avengers, right?
Mm-hmm.
He only has one superpower that costs power.
Yep.
And that just allows him to add blanks specifically to his builder as successes, which is not bad at all. 2 power
not
to add blanks in a 6-die attack.
Yep.
Okay. Better place for him. The only other thing that he has on his card that spends power is his really good kneel before me attack. Range 2, strength 9, but it costs 5 power.
Are you putting him in X-Men Blue?
Will you stop helicoptering me?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not going to put him in X-Men Blue. Nobody plays X-Men Blue.
I do.
I'm going to put him on a team that is led by Cyclops.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to put him in X-Men Blue.
I'm sorry,
I was building it up.
Well, you got it, because it costs so much power.
Right, so it's the only thing that costs power, so what better place to put him than to reduce the power cost of his one thing that costs power?
Right.
So then he can just constantly be spending power to make his strike better, even though now he's using his builder. But still, or his spender. But this attack is fantastic. It's only range 2, which is not not great there, but it is strength 9. You can choose for it to be energy or mystic, and we know energy is the weakest defense in the game.
Yep.
I'm going to sneeze. Maybe not.
I'm going to flag it anyway, but I'm also not going to edit it out. So
I feel it building in my nose.
Yeah.
But then on a wild, you get a throw. Target is size 4 or less. You throw the target character away medium. It's a big old throw.
It is a
That's
big old
real
throw.
far.
Actually, yeah.
So being able to do that for cheaper is awesome.
So Ravensguard brings up a great point, and this is the second reason why my call was wrong to have him in
More
Steve
than
Wilson
one
Avengers.
reason.
Yeah, it's occult research is also Hydra only.
So you take him with you splash him into Baron Strucker's
Yeah.
Hydra.
Yep.
Yeah. So my hot take is going to be put him into X-Men Blue
Okay.
to make his one thing that costs a bunch of power, and that way that also limits how often you need to do all-consuming obsession.
Yeah.
To take a damage to gain 2 power. You won't have to be doing that as often if your one thing that costs a bunch of power is costing a lot less.
Right.
And that keeps them on the table longer.
Listen, I'm so very legitimately, I am sorry for ruining.
I mean, it's
because
become
it ruined
a tradition.
Not because I fair. Not because I ruined it, but because I ruined something that's very near and dear to me, and that's Cyclops in general.
How is that ruining Cyclops?
It's not ruining Cyclops, but it's ruining something that could have given Cyclops a little bit more hype. And I don't want to Thunder Thief Cyclops.
Oh, because that was going to be like revealed Cyclops.
Yeah, because everyone would have been like, "Oh my God, did you listen to this episode of Wait Did I Roll a Wild, your Marvel Crisis Protocol vlog? They talked about how Cyclops would be really good to splash Red Skull into," and everyone would be like, "Yeah, I did, but then Tim ruined it, so now I don't want to do it anymore." And
That's what they say.
that's what they say.
Totally is.
Everyone says. I don't hate that. It also allows him to be able to move around the board a little bit better with Field Commander. He is someone that you really want to kind of maximize his power usage on.
Cyclops?
So, yeah, Red Skull.
Oh, yeah.
So being able to do X-Men First Class to be able to take care of those objectives round 1.
Well, he
so you're
can't.
not. I know.
Okay.
But you can let other people handle it.
And then they
Confirmed.
have power to give him.
Correct.
I got what you're
Yep.
saying.
Yep.
Because I did triple check that as well. Like, he can't use First Class, right? No, it's only X-Men. Okay.
Yeah, it is X-Men only. But yeah, I like that a lot. And the reason I know in my heart of hearts that First Class is X-Men only is in the What If event at NashCon. I played against an X-Men Gold team.
Oh.
Where Black Cat was on it.
Oh no.
And she moved up and took stuff and still had power. And I was like, first class on Black Cat's dumb. It's real dumb. I don't like it at all.
It's almost like, that's why they limit these things to
Right.
only things in that affiliation.
So, yeah.
I love what if stuff. It's
real.
so good.
So I think, and like Rusty said in chat, something like Inhumans, I think, seems pretty obvious as far as like
anything
being
to
able
put power on them. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the spot I want to put him though.
I wanted to give a hot take though. That's why I went Cyclops.
No, I think that's great. Mine's not anywhere near as hot, but it is Shadowlands Daredevil.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go Winter Guard.
No,
not as hot. You're still gonna go cold.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going Shadowlands Daredevil because I feel like you're on his builder, which is how you're going to be getting exactly one power every time you use it. You want that power, right? You can't use him in Red Skull's Cabal.
I was actually just thinking that, and I was like, oh wait, he is Red Skull.
So here's the thing. When we were thinking about this earlier, I was like, oh yeah, Cabal with Red Skull. It'll get him more power. It'll be so good.
It would be.
And I was like, oh no, you idiot. You got to put him in Sam Wilson's Avengers. Otherwise it won't work.
Oh wait, idiot.
Oh wait, you idiot.
Put him in Kingpin's.
Third time's the charm. So, Shadowlands Daredevil Criminal Syndicate.
Okay. Let's reroll an attack against somebody that's holding or securing an objective, right?
Because I feel like on his Blitz Strike, you're going to be fishing for the advance and the push. Just to be able, just to be able to fish for that shield or that wild. Maybe the hit you're missing. Maybe you just rolled a fistful of crits and wilds, and you're like, oh, I just wish I had a hit.
Oh no!
I think that reroll helps a lot. Some people might say like X-Force is where you want them, but it's not.
It's not. Why not?
And just because I played a lot of X-Force, like a lot of X-Force.
You've played like exclusively X-Force for a while.
It's been a hot minute. I feel I got my reps in.
Yeah.
With Cable, and I like Cable a lot actually.
Except his gun.
It only does one of two things. Both of those things aren't applying Incinerate, but
I thought you usually get Incinerate, but no damage.
So that did happen actually this past week, exclusively a bunch of times where I did 0 damage but got the Incinerate, so I was okay with it. I got to play Boom TTFN.
Yeah.
Who came to the What If event.
I was gonna ask you how that game went.
It went well. We played Origin Bombs and
Another one,
Legacy Virus.
Oh yeah.
And that it was a takeaway game because of Origin Bombs, right? Where you're scoring 3 victory points if you have more of those than your opponent.
Oh yeah, that one is super swingy.
So it was a huge swing game. He has this roster that I love, and he played it a little bit in that What If event, where he runs Loki and Groot to Loki tax people that he is also rooting.
Oh, brutal.
So
you have to spend 2 power before you even use the superpower.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's diabolical.
So on Cable, very specifically, he like runs up with Groot and he's playing Avengers, like Steve's Avengers. So that root only costs 1.
Oh, jeez.
So Trickster
Range 3 or 4?
So Trickster is cheaper. So I Am a God is like all the time.
Ugh.
It was actually really solid. But yeah, Root and Loki tax on Cable when I'm just trying to put a shield on someone and it costing 4 power.
Oof.
Body Slide costing 4 power.
And he gets 2 a turn?
He does.
3?
He gets 2 a
turn.
Okay. No, he gets 1 extra, sorry.
I could a total 1 extra, 2 extra.
It was just like, this is dumb.
No, literally all you have left is his gun.
Right. Yeah, which you know is not.
You're not going to generate power from that because you're not going to do damage anyway.
Actually, and here's the thing that really frustrated me with it, and not frustrated me, but was just like, wow, that's really good. That's a great combo. Trying to throw anything, because Cable's throw is X, where I'm paying the size.
Yeah.
And I'm paying the size plus 2.
Yeah.
So to throw a garbage can, I'm paying 3 power. Just like I don't even want to throw garbage cans no more.
Oh, that's sad.
But
Did you
yeah.
get it up?
Yeah, it was 17-3, I think, in the end. But
for you or against you?
For me.
Oh wow, nice.
But yeah, it was actually, it's just one of those. Some of those swinging objectives are very swingy. But yeah, Scarlet Witch went up against a Viper.
Oh man, how did Scarlet Witch fare in that matchup? That's rough.
So I feel like he was channeling his inner Dan Cole.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He put, Incinerate and Hacks and everything on Viper, but left her on 1.
Naturally.
And that's just how it goes sometimes. But
that's how it goes for you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, no, it was a good game, and I really like him in general. He's very fun to play against. And I really like that niche stuff, like Groot and Loki tax. It's just
I love that idea.
So and it left me. I walked away from that being like, listen, I love Sinister for the shenanigans and cloning and just whatever you want, which we'll get into later as well. Yeah. But Sinister being able to root people pretty consistently, and we've talked about this a lot before, that cloning banks is a little bit of a trap if you're actually using those genetic tokens to like disrupt the field or keep Sinister alive. Man, he's a really good character. But applying that root with a Loki tax is, I feel like that's awesome. Just awesome.
That's just debilitating. Where it's like I got to spend 2 power before doing a superpower. It like makes so many powers just not usable, or it's gonna cut down how often they're used by like half.
Correct. Well, and especially if you have someone that's running like Heavy Steve's Avengers, where they're used to that being discounted, and then you're negating it with Loki tax, and then making it cost more with root. Root's just one of those things that you never feel good about shaking it, but it is so impactful.
So impactful. An action for it that's one that you really have to think about. Like, is it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
It might be in the long run, depending on how long that character goes before they're dazed and can get rid of it.
Yep.
Whereas other ones, like, I don't know if I would ever spend an action to get rid of poison.
Right.
Like, you're just gonna, I got 1 less power this round.
Oh, shucks.
Well,
yeah.
It's one of those really extreme cases where it's like, okay, well, I have Black Cat who has 1 power on her right now. She needs that power to Troublemaker, so I guess I'll shake it now to move in Troublemaker next turn or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so to cycle back from that tangent, sorry, is Red Skull Master of Hydra in Shadowlands Daredevil and Shadow War. Mostly to just confirm that you're getting those triggers. Kneel before me being able to get that throw is honestly very considerably a majority of why you're trying to do it.
Oh, absolutely. And like 9 dice is awesome.
It's size 4 and medium.
Yeah, medium so far.
Not only and it's really the best of both worlds, right? Like you are getting a higher you're getting a longer throw and a bigger size. So this is in fact something that can in fact throw Malekith.
It's like everything but Dormammu, Hulkman, Ironbuster, and Sentinels.
Is Hulkman Ironbuster 5?
I think those are the only 5s.
I thought he was 4.
He might be. I mean, he's as big as.
Yeah, he's 4. So it's everything but Dormammu.
I forget. Yeah, because he's bigger than Dormammu, but he's only size 4.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, interesting.
Well, you got to understand that the thing that actually makes Dormammu size 5 instead of 4 is his swagger. So
I was gonna say ego. So yeah, kind of the same thing.
I don't know if you can count Tony Stark out for having ego that would increase his size. Hulkman Ironbuster is actually size 3, but has the same benefit that Dormammu does. As far as
he could throw everybody but Dormammu and Sentinels.
Yeah,
because I don't know. There's very few people that can throw Sentinels.
Sentinels are all size 5.
They're both size 5, I believe, but I was just wrong about another one.
Yep, looks like both size 5.
Because who still has size list throws? Kingpin's got errated to like size 4, right?
So a lot of the erratas became size 2s or 3s.
Okay.
And I'm including pushes in that as well, because like Shuri's became
hers
what it is. But yeah, Kingpin's is no longer non-size typed. It is in fact size 3. So as far as the thing,
major wasn't his is also size 4 or less.
Yep.
So now I can't think of one that might be not restricted.
Yeah, it's maybe even cables. The spend per is
that's only terrain, isn't it?
Yeah, that's also accurate. But they can he can.
What about Colossus? Oh,
nuts. But yeah, so I really like him in Shadow War. Sorry, and I also like that because of the Hydra troopers.
I like that a lot.
They do have a range 4, strength 4 energy attack as well. And one of the things that I mean, in my personal experience, especially after running Nate GG's Oops All Rapid Fire and Reload or in rerolls list, is that those strength 4 attacks just do consistent, constant damage when you have a single non-typed reroll in there.
Sometimes that's all you need.
It really is.
You got a fistful of dice and a single reroll.
Right.
You got a fighting chance.
I mean, that's
Even with 4 dice.
That's Bullseye's attacks, except it's energy. I love Bullseye.
Which is
And these guys come out for free.
Yeah.
And they can just shoot in the range 4 and strength 4 and you get a reroll. I don't want to say it's better than Bullseye, and I'm never going to. But
they also only have 3 stamina. Bullseye has 4. He's got 33% more.
That's true. That is why he is better.
You said so sad saying it. That's why he's better.
I am sad about it, but that's where I put him. Also, I just want to run Shadow War pretty much all the time. I love that affiliation. I love Cruel Tutelage. I love Vendetta and No Mercy. And
they have a lot of really good cards.
They have a
Shadow Organization.
Yep.
But also,
I'm super accustomed now to pretty sneaky sis. So things like Shadow Organization, I'm like, yeah, that's cool or whatever. But like,
but is it
pretty sneaky sis is range 2? Just saying.
Yeah, it's crazy. But if you take him in Shadowlands, that was empty. Just knocked over. You can take Shadowlands Daredevil.
Yeah.
You got Hand Ninjas.
Yeah.
You got Red Skull with his Hydra Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
You got Bullseye.
Yeah.
Just running alongside those Hydra Troopers, showing them what's what.
Mm-hmm.
How great it is to have 1 more stamina.
Mm-hmm.
They do have the same Mystic defense, though. Of 2.
That's pretty much Wolverine.
Right? Yeah, so Hydra Troopers are equal to Bullseye. It's confirmed.
So here's the
their
thing.
movement. I didn't realize they were movement short. I just noticed that. Okay, so Bullseye's way faster than that, moving medium.
So, granted, this isn't confirmed yet, right? But no, hold on. I got it. I think the place to run him is in fact Cabal. Sin's Cabal. And
we have Leviathan, Red Skull, and Sin's Cabal.
And here's why.
Okay, I'm listening.
Red Skull, Agent of Hydra, or Master of Hydra, 5 points, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sin, 3 points, right?
Yep.
Elektra, 4 points.
Yeah.
Now we're at 12.
No.
5, 3, and 4.
No, you're right.
Okay. That almost broke me. I was like, wait, what?
I don't know why I thought that wasn't 12, but okay.
Okay. 4 more points. 16 base. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Just so you have all the grunts.
All the grunts.
Yes.
Works as Cabal.
But Sin's Cabal. But it's still Cabal.
Yeah, it is Sin's Cabal. It's Sin's Cabal. But who cares? With 16 points, you have 7 characters on the field. And there's still room to grow.
I love it.
Then at 18th right, you throw in Bullseye.
Crossbones.
At 19th right, you throw in Crossbones.
Just because so you can take advantage of something on
right.
this card.
I mean, how awesome is that?
I really like that. Because Elektra's Cabal, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. Because I was trying to think, how do you get that other grunt in there? Okay, it's got to be Cabal. I was thinking Criminal Syndicate at first,
is Elektra Cabal?
Yeah. No.
It looks like it goes Enchantress then Hood.
Maybe the answer to that riddle is I was joking.
I mean, it's unaffiliated then. You could still do it.
All right, now we got to redo this now. So maybe it does have to be Criminal Syndicate. So we have Elektra. Red Skull is not part of Criminal Syndicate, but he could be. We don't know yet for certain.
Okay, well, still, if you try to build Criminal Syndicate, now you're still 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
You could do that same squad, but that's only 2 Criminal Syndicate.
Yeah.
At 16.
So, yes. So, yeah, you do the same thing at 6. It'd be 18 now to get Bullseye in there to make it as cheap as possible to try to fill out the actual... No, I still don't think it works.
So I mean, you can do it. It just has to be pretty high threat.
It does.
to-
It's a heavy tax, right? 9 of your points are going to be unaffiliated with between Nick Fury Jr. and Red Skull, Master of Hydra. So how do you? And then a leader to make sure you get that is 13 minimum, right? Yeah, 13 minimum with Shadowlands Daredevil.
Yeah.
Bullseye 15. And then you just need one more. 18 maybe, I guess, would be the minimum. There's only one 2-point criminal syndicate member, correct?
I believe it's just Bullseye.
Okay. Toad should be there too, I feel. But all right, so it needs a little work, is all we're saying. That's all. But there's gonna be a list. It's gonna be run on a Monday night here. And it's going to have every grunt possible.
Ravensguard said only one set of grunts on the board at a time per side, he thinks. I thought that was just per parent.
So did I.
But,
ooh. That could be spicy.
I mean, if that means you just can't take multiple grunts, that just kills that shtick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are the grunt rules? Are they just in the normal rule book now?
I think it's in the Gruntpedia Britannica, or the Encyclopedia Gruntanica, I think may have been the actual term.
Yeah, that one.
Only one grunt per side. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that actually on the comments on the YouTube video, which you can check out right down below in the show notes, people corrected me when I tried to run Nick Fury and Shadowlands Daredevil. At the same time.
That sounds super familiar.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And it was like, well, we already made the squads. I guess we'll just have an illegal team here.
Yeah.
And I can see why they would have that, so you can't do that and have
right
flood the board with.
It makes sense.
Doesn't mean
It's
you have to
actually
like
a
it.
great call, AMG. Good job. You're like, it was correct. It was the good thing to do. Otherwise, I was gonna do it a whole bunch. Unaffiliated would go through the roof. Jacob at Xavier Protocols would be like, why are people doing this? Oh, it's Tim.
It's just Tim.
Oh, it's just Tim.
It's not people. It's just Tim.
Oh, this isn't a picture of two opponents playing each other. This is just Tim's active board.
Oh, man, I'm sad we can't do that now.
Nuts.
I mean, we could and call it, what is it, expanded?
No, I don't think it even works there. I think it's still against the rules.
I mean, we could just cheat.
Oh, yeah, we could just make our own.
Like it happened a whole bunch on Monday.
Yes! So that's fair. Speaking of, moving over there to the game that we played this past Monday on Twitch, which is right here if you're watching this live, or it's in the show notes if you're watching this on YouTube, or it's in the show notes if you're listening to this visually with your earballs on, places where podcasts come out. But
right.
we had a couple special guests.
2 of them.
4 of them
At the
total.
same time.
You and I were there.
Uh-huh.
We played Separation Anxiety
Yeah.
with Ben and Alyssa from chat, who are always super great to see in person. I got to spend most of NashCon with Ben, and doesn't snore.
I still don't know if I believe you.
I
I think you just say that to
Nope.
be nice.
Nope. I talked to him the next day, and I was like,
Everybody snores. Even my puppy snores.
no, not true. My princess does not snore.
She absolutely does, and she
And-
farts in her sleep all the time.
That's not snoring,
It's
Dan.
so
It's
gross.
different.
I said also.
Okay.
It's so bad.
But no, Ben, nice silent sleeper, great conversationalist, someone I really like being around in general.
Nice.
But they drove down from where they're at, actually a pretty considerable drive, to play in Separation Anxiety with us. Ben made the suggestion, shout out to Keebler, who every week on the Power Phase asks, you guys playing 14 Threat? And if we say no, he's like, dumb.
When we say no.
Yeah.
Because we don't ever want to play that low.
So we decided to play Separation Anxiety at 14 Threat. Based on Ben's recommendation, and we took it.
It was wild.
It was a long game. It might be our longest stream.
Oh, definitely. I didn't get home till after 11.
Yeah,
on a Monday.
It was, and we started at 7. It was like a 3.5 hour game. But we all played it. Alyssa came in some just absolute incredible cosplay.
It was amazing.
She hid in the bathroom
She was like 15 minutes before we were going to get started. And she was like, hey, I want to do this thing. Can we start with me not in the shot? And we're like, yeah, okay, whatever. That sounds cool. And not having any idea what was going to happen.
She was like, I want you to see, I want to see the natural reaction to you guys. Fair. And I was like, all right, yeah, how it can't be that impactful. And then we started stream, and that door opened, and her face was painted green, and she had a green wig, and she was in like a blazer, and I was she came out just as She-Hulk, and
it was amazing.
It was so good.
It was so
absolutely good. Broke me.
She even did her eyebrows dark green, and she had dark green lipstick to really sell it. It was so good.
It was really, really, really solid.
I didn't know what to expect, but it was not that, and it was so great.
So, and going into this game, a little bit of behind the scenes here a little bit. What? So this is normally something... This is
not the cleanup phase.
Yeah, exactly. So this is normally something we'd only talk about on the cleanup phase. But every week for the Monday game, for the stream, maybe we talk a little bit about what we're going to try to run or play before we get to Monday night. That way we know what we're going to be.
Mostly so we don't double up on anything.
Yeah.
Oh, we both brought Bullseye again.
And Dan was like, well, I'm thinking about playing, some of the new characters or maybe Web Warriors. And I was like, I was a little heavy-handed. And I was like, if you were to play a Spider-Man, I do not care what Spider-Man it is.
Oh, yeah.
But if you could do that, it would provide me some shtick that I'm trying to go for.
I don't know why, but I did not think it was the shtick you went with. It, never entered my head, and I was like, why?
I always have to overcomplicate it, right? So I was like, if he knows I want him to play Spider-Man, I tried to pass it off as I wanted you to play Web Warriors.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, shoot, what if he takes Miles and not Peter Parker in Amazing Spider-Man or as regular Spider-Man?
But you knew it was pretty safe because I told you I was doing Web Warriors specifically to play Amazing Spider-Man because I finally got mine painted.
So I wanted to use that as an opportunity to try to pull off Fearful Symmetry again.
Again.
And I was like, all right, well, he'll see it coming if Kraven's out there at the start. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run Mr. Sinister. The chances or the odds of dazing and KOing Amazing Spider-Man in rounds 1 and 2 are insanely low.
Oh, yeah.
Round 3, to have him dazed and potentially even, best case scenario, dazed with damage on him, is actually pretty decent, especially if that's what I'm shooting for. So I was like, all right, earliest I can clone in Kraven to try to get Fearful Symmetry off his round 3. So I need to put as much damage as I can on Amazing Spider-Man, and it's so much harder with Amazing Spider-Man over just
reroll and everything.
Parker. The rerolls even on Mystic attacks, and more health, and he's just all over the place, and it's just like, all right. But I had some help with Ben and Alyssa because I told them ahead of time what I was trying to do.
I didn't realize that part.
Well, Ben was constantly correcting me. He's like, no, don't bodyguard with Mr. Sinister. You need him to be undazed to be able to put the genetic samples on the cloning banks card. I was like, oh, that was almost really close. And then I did.
I remember him saying that now.
And then I was using the genetic splicing, his Mystic Beam, to try to deal damage to. I had 3 targets. I had Amazing Spider-Man there, Black Cat, and OG Human Torch. I couldn't do damage at all.
You could not.
Like a single damage.
It was like all of a sudden my dice were like, yep, we're gonna roll a bunch of blocks. That's
and not even like, oh, he rolled some wilds and a crit and a block. No, Spider-Man was rolling 4 blocks.
There was one roll that was literally 4 blocks.
Just 4 shields.
Okay. I did re-roll it into that, but still, it was like, wow.
So then, thankfully, Ravensguard was like, hey, Tim, you don't need to do damage to get the genetic token.
Right.
And I was like, wait.
That's how Ravensguard saved your bacon.
I was like, wait, what? Because at that point, I was like, it's done. It's over with. I didn't do any damage. I only got 1 genetic token, and now it's going to be around 4 before I can clone him in. It's over. My whole plan is over. And I didn't even start it yet. I have a Kraven vest that my wife put fake fur on and googly eyes for the little lion's eyes. And I had a stupid Spider-Man mask. And it's all for naught because I can't roll damage on 6 attacks with Sinister.
Yeah.
But Ravensguard thankfully told me that was not the case, that I get the genetic tokens anyway.
Yeah.
And that made me realize that with Red Skull's Cabal, I just have to attack. I don't have to deal damage to get the extra power too.
You must have
I
missed
learned
out
a
on like
lot.
20 damage that game, forgetting that that's how his leadership works.
Yeah. Yep. There was Ravensguard really saved my bacon there.
He did.
Then once it became obvious what I was trying to do, and I brought Craven out, it became, there was a target on Sinister and on Craven, and you punch Craven down into the dead.
I didn't want it to happen right away, so I had Amazing Spider-Man just hit Craven, I think, once, and he went down.
One shot him.
Just boom. He just bopped him on the head like Luke Cage does. And then I used, I had Anti-Venom symbiote on Black Cat, and she was like, "Here, Peter Parker, have some health back."
Yeah.
I just want to make it more difficult for you.
And then
You're going to have to clone in a character and then
Right.
kill a specific character with your specific character.
And not only that, but on Craven and Sinister, I rolled 0 defensive successes the entire game.
The best thing was what the next round, Craven gets up, or undazes.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man has 3 health left because of that heal. He was at 1 left. And you're like, all right, I got priority. I'm just going to unload
Here's the
with
thing.
Craven.
Here's how I got priority, too. With Red Skull, I used his spender to throw Urza Major around.
Right.
Because I needed to do damage to my own Sinister to daze him so he couldn't activate so I could go up in the priority order. The only thing I needed
So
to
convoluted.
do was roll a wild on those attacks, on those Unleash the Cubes, to do that damage to Sinister. I couldn't roll a wild. I did 2 Unleash the Cubes.
Yep.
The first one, I got the throw, because the damage went through as single damage, but I couldn't throw Urza Major directly into my own character. I had to throw him into a place where I could then throw him the next time. 2 Unleash the Cubes to do a single damage to my own Sinister to guarantee me priority in the next round so Craven could go first and potentially Fearful Symmetry.
And the best part was that then you did the Kukri strike into the spear thrust, which gets bonus
With the
dice.
target! Well, I target him too with the Craven's ability
the
to
beast or something?
Yeah, which gives him the additional dice on all of his attacks.
You're
too.
rolling a lot of dice, and
Yep.
you couldn't do
No
it.
damage.
I don't think you did any. No.
0.
Didn't you do a couple?
No.
Because somebody else hurt Spider-Man. Because it got to the point where
We got him. He was back to 1.
He was back to 1, and he did the trap thing.
I did, yeah. Corner the Beast
Oh, Corner of the Beast was, I think.
and Expert Tracker.
So if he moved, he would take 1 damage and die.
Not if he moved, but if he ends an advance or climbs.
Right. Okay.
This is why it was so specific. So Craven ended his turn. Amazing Spider-Man was still alive at 1.
And you're like,
No, he was
so
at 3.
close.
You're right. I did 0 damage. So Craven ended his turn. He was still at 3 because
it
you
gets
healed
better.
him with Black Cat.
Gets better.
So then you went with Black Cat and you dazed, I think, Urza Major or something like that, which
I
was
remember.
needed because Ben was on fire.
Oh, because we needed to keep Ben from winning because he was
Yeah.
at like 12 already.
So here's how I was able to do it. Does it work in the rules? I don't know.
It's a little questionable, but I think it was okay.
I do too. If someone can enlighten us to whether this actually works or not, or if I only had to cheat 19 times to make this work. But it came down to this. I was like, I'm going to activate Sinister. I need to do 2 and not 3 damage, and not 1 damage, and no other number of damage but 2. To Amazing Spider-Man with Mr. Sinister. If I do that, because of Corner the Beast, with Mr. Sinister, I can use such fun little playthings, which allows me to advance an enemy character, which would trigger Corner the Beast and do 1 damage.
And then Craven would be the one that finished off Spider-Man.
And then because it was Corner the Beast that Craven is doing the damage to Spider-Man, that means Craven is KOing him, and Fearful Symmetry can in fact trigger.
And then Craven becomes Spider-Man.
But there was this, I feel like there was this feeling of like, Tim did all of this and it didn't even work because Craven can't roll any damage on Spider-Man.
It was just...
And I was like, I still got a chance. No, I got it. Just stop talking. Just play your turns. I
Right.
think I got it still.
And then it happened. Sinister did 2 damage somehow against all the odds without fudging anything. Advanced Spider-Man, and then Craven took him out with his superpower and became your what is it, Kane Spider-Man?
Yes. Yeah, Kane Parker. I love that outfit a lot.
So good. So then you had 2 extra models that game.
Yes. Yeah, because cloning in Craven and then turning Craven into Spider-Man. I told Dallas before the stream too. What's that?
Then Ben still won.
Ben still won.
Didn't he?
He did. But I wasn't going for victory points. I just wanted Fearful Symmetry to go off. That's all I wanted. I told Dallas beforehand too. I was like, "Hey, this is what I'm going for tonight," and he was like, "It's the dream."
That's why we made that card.
Right. So, it was. I really appreciate you not killing Spider-Man with symbiotes during the cleanup phase.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's right. Alyssa did win. Because she
right.
was saying that she beat you twice with She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Because she took Dormammu and She-Hulk. Just destroyed us.
So, yeah, I guess to reiterate
It's like she was playing with children. Just whap.
So
done.
That final round, Dormammu goes off. Alyssa's Dormammu kills
everybody.
Like everybody. Dazes Spider-Man and Black Cat.
She KO'd... No, she dazed 2 characters.
Yep.
And then KO'd Spider-Man.
And did it in the perfect order, too, because the incantation of obliteration can't trigger off of a character that it KOs. It can trigger off a character that it dazes.
Right, but she dazed or KO'd 4 characters at activation.
So
it was brutal.
You and I both had a healthy character. I had the new Craven Peter Parker. You had Black Cat that was still healthy.
Yeah, she was fine.
I believe there was also Red Guardian and potentially Ursa Major?
Or Sinister?
Yes, Sinister. So she targeted, I believe, your Black Cat first, dazed her.
Yep.
Got the trigger.
Yeah, because I didn't get an activation that round.
So she was able to target my Spider-Man, dazed him.
Mm-hmm.
Then
she went to Moon Knight, KO'd him.
Into Moon Knight. Then she had the Carnage symbiote on her, where she could paint the town red. Yes. And then KO'd Sinister, and then I think Red Guardian or Ursa Major too. She just obliterated that entire half of the board. I think left you with no activations that round. I was only left with Mysterio.
I think I went first with somebody else, and
yeah.
Oh, because Human Torch had been dead forever.
Yeah.
He went down first hard.
So it was just Mysterio around with a plasma rifle to knock symbiotes off people. And I was like, I was moving towards Ben's Dark Star. I was like, this is my only shot. And then Ben moved up to attack She-Hulk, and I was like, wait a minute.
We all cried.
If I can move up just enough, I could fire this sonic blaster at a whole bunch of symbiotes and just do automatic damage to
just a whole bunch of symbiote little alien guys jumping on Dormammu, each doing one little damage that you couldn't roll against.
And I got the symbiote off. I rolled the trigger for that. But moving all those other symbiotes on gave Dormammu one back. I was like 2 points off from being able to KO Dormammu.
We almost got him.
And then Dormammu does the hex push back. So then I was like, well, I guess I'll attack Dark Star and She-Hulk now.
Yep.
And
right, because Dormammu got dazed because Moon Knight went off one turn.
Yeah, he threw so many croissants at.
He had a strength 8 throwing croissant attack,
followed by a strength 6 because it all webbed up. It was
That's
awesome.
What it was all webbed up, and I rolled the 2 extra dice on his first attack, so he was just like faster than you'd ever seen him throw croissants. There were so many.
So many croissants.
And ended up
dazing. It was like a Burger King breakfast rush.
Croissants.
The
Moon Knight was great that game. I really want to I need to give Human Torch another shot because he didn't get a chance to shine. He did a little bit of damage with his beams, but totally forgot that B2 Nova Blast does damage to him after each attack.
Yep.
And I think I only hit Sinister with it, but still, or Hood or something. I only hit one or 2 characters.
Yeah, Hood got trounced. I forgot he was even in there.
Yeah, he just got.
He did not activate after round 1.
You're right.
Dazed and then gone.
But Human Torch only has 10 total stamina, so taking any extra damage is like, oh.
For real.
So he's really there for incinerating with his builder and then making people drop objectives and stuff, which you never got a chance to because the symbiotes didn't actually count as anything.
Yeah.
They're not assets or anything like that. So I had a couple abilities that just didn't work. Black Cat and Human Torch, which was like, nuts.
Nuts.
Messed that one up.
But yeah, I did forget, and I'm shocked I did, that Alyssa ended up taking that because it just Dormammu and She-Hulk. That's all she brought.
That's all she needed.
Just 2 models. And it was just rad. That last round, it was like a boss fight. It turned into an
really
play
was.
kit. Where it's like, all right, Ben, how do we do this? I know we've just teamed up against you for the last 2 rounds, but like, let's shake hands. Let's figure out how to take out Dormammu and She-Hulk.
And the whole thing was that she got that other objective in the middle. I always forget what it's called.
Yeah.
So like she had a symbiote on She-Hulk and Dormammu.
Mhm.
So with that, she scored 4 points just from that.
And then was contesting 2 points as well.
Because she'd killed everybody. She was the only one left standing on them. So she got 6 points that round, and it was like, oh no.
So that does in fact leave my record at 0% successes against Alyssa's She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
You are actually you played it at Adepticon, so I'm not sure what your. I was gonna say your separation anxiety record is 1-1, but I don't know the result at Adepticon.
I believe I did. Actually, I don't know. It was either Omnus or I that won, because I was hanging back. I think I got trounced because I think a bullseye took out my Dr. Voodoo with parting shot.
I will say that playing it at 14 threat was a blast.
It really was
crazy, but I understand why it's 11 per team.
Yeah, it was a 3.5 hour game. Really closing in on 4, and I think it only got down to that time because Dormammu literally obliterated half of the board.
Yeah, that really helped. It was worth it because it was so much fun, and it was
really
all
was.
because Ben wanted to play the whole Winter Guard affiliation.
Yeah.
Which later he was like, I could have just taken out Darkstar and been fine.
Yeah.
Even though she lasted the longest because she hung back just holding an objective for a while, and then we finally went. I think you went after
that. And I've played Mysterio probably 4 or 5 times now. I still don't know which one of his abilities move him and which ones you move his opponent.
Delusion.
It's. I'm just never gonna figure it out.
You just got to read it every single time.
Every single time, and read it wrong.
Yeah.
I read his builder wrong twice.
Yeah, you did.
I just never did damage with it to actually move myself or others. But yeah, it was an absolute blast to have them on. They're some of my favorite people.
And I'm sure it'll be on the YouTube soon.
Yeah.
It's not yet, but
I think I've transferred it over. Maybe I just need to post it. So guess what? If you're listening to the podcast version of this, it's already up. Woo! If you're watching the live version of this, I'll do it tonight.
Oh, and there were tortilla slaps.
Oh yeah, I got slapped a whole bunch.
I got the unfortunate pleasure of getting slapped first before we understood how hard to not slap with the tortillas.
I do not envy that first slap because I thought I was going medium, and it was muy caliente.
You get like a lot of torque with that thing.
You do.
And it was like, I was just kind of like, whoo, like that was a bit more than I was expecting.
So we added a new channel points redemption based on the joke between Ben and I believe, was, well, we're going 14 threat, so that means all the slaps. It's just going to be slap mode.
Slappers only.
And then, just odd jobbing around, you know?
We'll be able to do that soon because it's coming out on the Switch.
That's true.
With online play. No odd job. Or Scientist number 2, you cheeky punk.
I always played Jaws, which was a very bad choice. He was very tall.
I don't know who I usually took. I don't think I cared.
Boris was the other one I picked because he had a Hawaiian shirt and he flipped around that pen so much, and I am very fidgety. But yeah, so what were we talking about?
I got distracted by GoldenEye.
Oh, we were talking about the slaps. So we added that new channel point redemption where it was like 500 channel points, and I was like, I'm gonna make it cheap, but people can only do it 5 times a night, and there's a cooldown of 2 minutes.
Alyssa just said Ben redeemed the tortilla slap yesterday during Taylor's hobby hangout, so he slapped himself with a glove. That's amazing.
That is absolutely incredible.
I love the commitment to that, because he could have been like, nah, I don't have a tortilla, sorry.
Forgot to take it off. I'm sorry, Taylor. But, so for 500 channel points, it's cost you nothing, just literally being in the chat. You could redeem to have your target slap a different target with a tortilla. The first redemption was for me to slap Dan. I held it at the bottom. I thought I was going medium. It was significantly harder than I intended it to be. I felt very bad.
Broke the tortilla.
Broke the tortilla. But I will say, karma did in fact come around, and I got slapped a lot.
I mean, It's to be expected.
It was.
You had to know. My favorite was the first one Ben did to you, and he almost missed and got your nose and lips.
I would much rather have been hit significantly harder in the cheek than to be grazed in the nose and lips. I'll be honest.
Just your face when that happened, because you're just kind of like,
I was
like that was
confused.
unpleasant.
Yeah, it was like
I will say, though, if we continue this, we're going to need to really plug the Patreon more, because to be able to afford all these tortillas that are going to be slapping each other with and breaking, and Alyssa's going to eat something. So
she only ate the fresh one.
She did eat a fresh one, to be fair.
And I believe the original gimmick was behind Ben whenever he was going to use
barehanded
slap with Urza Major, that the target would be slapped with a tortilla.
That he painted a bear claw on.
Yeah, they painted actually an incredible bear claw on that tortilla. I believe I was the only target personally of the
the stale tortilla,
the barehanded slap, but it was not a fun experience.
But good content.
It was good. But like Dan said, the Patreon is something that allows us to kind of go above and beyond what we would normally do, and we heavily rely on that support from you. So we really appreciate that, especially all of our professional cake sitters and our King Bean doppelgangers, including Leroy, Bearded Dragon Games, Mr. Anthony is a professional cake sitter as well, Bicon, Bastian.
Did you say Leroy?
I think I said Leroy
Rob.
first. Rob.
Bicon. And Cyder Drinker.
And Cyder Drinker is the newest one, which we're very thankful for, guys. And all of our Patreons as a whole. We really appreciate the support. It allows us to do more and more every week. And we really can't thank you enough.
More?
Huh?
We're doing more?
Well, one of the things that we're doing more is at least once a month for the time being, maybe more later on, we are running a new show called The Cleanup Phase. That will be a lot of behind the scenes, and especially behind the scenes of conventions and stories and stuff along those lines, as well as getting into the real nitty-gritty stuff with Marvel Crisis Protocol and other minis games that we can't necessarily get into on this particular show here. So, Patreons of every level get access to those live streams and the videos for it as little as $1 a month. So, really appreciate that support. Consider doing it, and I will tell you right now, between bonus shows, bonus episodes, bonus series, backlogs of every podcast that we've ever had effectively with full video are all available on the Patreon, as well as access to the Discord, which is a really incredibly hopping place.
Yeah.
Very active for whatever you're into. If you're into Marvel shows, Warhammer, Pathfinder, D&D, RPGs as a whole. There are groups in there that are scheduling tabletop RPGs to play with one another remotely from all around the world.
Yeah, really cool.
Whether you're in Paraguay or Australia or New Zealand or Europe, East Asia, Southeast Asia, South America, North America, even Canada. Listen, we have people from all over the world and have a really nice community, so we really appreciate all of you. But, Dan, this next week.
Oh, yeah, we got some crazy things happening next week.
On the Power Phase, Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, Danny and Taylor, I don't think have been seen playing before on the stream.
I don't know. The Ultron Ultimate Encounter.
That's right. But I was there. And now there won't be a Tim Meat middle sandwich to get in their way. Because this week, on the Power Phase. I'm sorry, man. On the Power Phase. On the Power Phase.
The Power Roll.
Maybe that's just what we call both shows from now on. Is the Power Roll.
The Power Wild.
But this next Monday, they will be playing the Unstoppable Colossus.
Yeah.
Organized play kit, which very sweetly was heavily designed by Jesse over at The Fury's Finest. I was able to talk to Jesse on an episode of Fury's Finest a few weeks ago. It was an absolute blast.
Nice.
And we got to talk a lot about organized play kits.
This one's really good.
It is really good.
Once you do it correctly.
Correct. So neither of them have played this one before. Only
Right.
you and I have, I believe. And
We
we
did
played it like back
Twice.
to back.
Yeah,
it's a
because we did it
really good
wrong
one.
the first time. So we're like, let's do it again and do it properly,
And-
or more properly.
And there are only a few of these co-op ones out there. This happens to be, I think, one of the best ones. I loved this one.
I like that there are some that are co-op, so it's not always just head-to-head.
Yeah. So Danny and Taylor will be teaming up against a Colossus that some might describe as unstoppable, which should be an absolute blast. And
Unstoppable.
will I add some new redemptions that they're completely unaware of remotely, since I won't be able to be there or even anywhere in the area? Maybe. We'll find out. It could be really fun.
We might even take ideas in the Discord. Who knows?
If I remember to do it. But a great place to, in fact, leave suggestions for new channel point redemptions for Oh Yeah, the Power Phase might even be on a 5-star review of this particular podcast, which you can leave on Audible, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out a lot. Gets us into more ears, more homes, and more, it helps us ruin more people's rosters, really, at the end of the day. And I guess I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. But we'll take suggestions there and over on the Discord, which you can get access to from being a subscriber on the Twitch or a Patreon of any level. Or if you really, 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 really want access, we have a P.O. Box. It's P.O. Box G, West Oneonta, New York, 13861. If you want to send...
Sounds so fake, but it's not.
It's not. It's really not.
It's a letter. Oh.
Yeah, I was also confused by that. I was like, I'm getting scammed. This isn't a real post office.
Yeah, it's West Oneonta. It's not real.
Right, yeah. So send us something there. Say you want access. Give me your Discord handle. I'll figure it out. But guys, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We will see you Monday for Oh Yeah, the Power Phase. And do not forget Taylor's Hobby Hangout.
Don't forget it. He'll get mad.
Wednesdays. Yeah, he will.
Oh, sad, really.
Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Twitch. And, get through some of your backlog. Hang out for a little bit. Get some models painted. You know you have something you need to do. You know you have something that you've been meaning to get around to.
We all
do. Just do it. Wednesday night's a great time for it.
Do it. Just do it.
But that said, thanks, Dan, for being here.
Thanks, Tim, for coming and doing this.
Thanks for not killing Amazing Spider-Man with a symbiote so I could do it later.
I was really tempted just to rain on your parade. And I was like, that's just mean for no reason. And it just wouldn't be fun.
Yeah. I thought about it later on the way home, too, and I was like, that would have been actually pretty detrimental to Dan's odds of winning, too, to just take out your own Spider-Man that way. But I get it. If there's one person that's somewhat deserving of being spitefully denied something really stupid they're trying to do, it's probably me. I get it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much. Stay safe. Have a great night. And remember, I love you. Bye.
Bye.